Thank you, Mr. Chair. This picture is a picture of a GPS tracking bracelet. The U.S. government puts them on people convicted of serious crimes, so we can see where these criminals are at all times. But imagine if China had the very same capability to track and surveil our location, but not just for criminals, but for potentially every single American. Last year, federal authorities confirmed that China, through a hacking group known as Salt Typhoon, broke into the networks of 9 major telecom providers. That access allowed the CCP to, in the words of one former official, quote, geolocate millions of individuals and even record phone calls at will. If the CCP was listening in on this Congress, they'd know the bills we were going to introduce, the investigations we were going to launch, and most importantly, the actions they needed to take to evade consequences. I want to let the enormity of that sink in for a second. Salt Typhoon was one of the worst hacks in American history, a truly unprecedented intelligence breach. And it comes just 1 year after this committee held a hearing on Volt Typhoon, an equally devastating hack, where we learned that China has pre-positioned vulnerabilities in our critical infrastructure that they could deploy to disrupt them in time of conflict. These are hardly isolated incidents. From the theft of millions of American security clearance records in 2015 to the hack of the Treasury Department just this past December, we're essentially an open book for Chinese intelligence agencies. It's time to slam that book shut and get the CCP out of our networks once and for all. First, we're going to bolster our defenses and invest like never before in our nation's cybersecurity. An obvious place to start is edge devices, a fancy word for the hardware that serves as the entry point for a network, like a Wi-Fi router. There's a common thread between Volt Typhoon and Salt Typhoon, and it's the use of edge devices to break into our systems. Second, we need to hone in on telecom. Just yesterday, the chairman and I sent letters to China Mobile, China Unicom, and China Telecom about their remaining operations in the U.S. As Reuters recently put it, these firms could exploit access to American data through their U.S. cloud and internet services by providing that data to Beijing. But we can't stop there. American telecom companies should also need to meet rigorous cybersecurity standards. Just like with oil pipelines after the Colonial Pipeline attack, Salt Typhoon is a wake-up call that we can't just rely on telecom companies to police themselves. Third, we need to increase our cyber talent pipelines. We have 1.5 million cybersecurity workers currently, but we need 2 million. That's a 500,000 person gap and something we need to work on. Fourth, we need to hold the CCP accountable. Some people call this defending forward. It means imposing costs on the CCP each time they attack us. When Xi Jinping decides whether to launch another attack, he needs to ask himself whether the costs are worth the benefits. With the full force of NSA, CISA, and other cyber experts, we need to make China think twice. This is only going to become more important as AI makes cyber attacks more effective and harder to detect. Because of that, I'd like to close with a message created by AI so you can see the power of this technology for yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm a deepfake of Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi. I was created using generative AI technology. That's right, I'm not the real Raja, I'm just an AI-generated video. Using AI technology, it will become easier for the CCP to hack us, since they can automate work currently done by thousands of hackers. But even if hacking becomes easier with AI, we can still deter it if we impose serious consequences. Xi Jinping, you may have thought Salt Typhoon was a massive success, but consider yourself warned. We're going to flip the script and make you regret this historic hack. When Congress channels its anger into action and ups our cybersecurity game like never before, you will come to see your intelligence coup as a massive strategic blunder.
Hey, thank you, Deepfake Raja. And thank you to our witnesses for joining us today. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And it's great to have the real Raja here with us today.